Google has this new tool called NotebookLM. What you can do is upload documents to it or upload your notes to it and then kind of use it to help study. But one of the cool features that it has is it will generate a kind of podcast about whatever topic you've uploaded to it. So I've uploaded the Circuits Handbook and the Networking 101 document and the first page about CV2, and I'm gonna let AI generate a podcast to hopefully teach you about networking in circuits. Let's see how it does.
All right, buckle up everybody. We're diving into a fascinating world today, Rec Room. It looks deceptively simple on the surface, but getting ready for this deep dive, I gotta say, I'm seriously impressed with the tech they've got powering this thing.
Yeah, you're right about that. Most people probably don't even think about what it takes to make these shared VR experiences so seamless, especially with Rec Room letting anyone build their own games and stuff.
And that's exactly what we're going to unpack today. We've got a stack of Rec Room's own developer docs and blog posts right here, ready to go. First up, we're tackling Rec Room Networking 101. I gotta say, the name's accurate.
It's a great place to start. They lay it all out with this really clear example. Imagine two players, R and G, each in their own room, trying to keep a set of blocks in sync. Kind of like a collaborative puzzle, but you can't actually see the other person's board.
Okay, I'm with you. So each room is like a player's session on their device, right? And the blocks are basically every object in the Rec Room world. They need some way to constantly talk to each other to make sure everything lines up.
Exactly. There's a constant stream of data flying back and forth behind the scenes. Little messages like, hey, move this block over here, or this block's red now. It's a really clever way of showing how client-server models work, and it's the backbone of a lot of online games.
So whether you're on a fancy VR headset or just your phone, Rec Room makes sure everyone's seeing the same thing. That's impressive on its own. But then you think about two players trying to change the same thing at the same time, utter chaos, right?
Could be, but that's where authority comes in, and this is one of the things that makes Rec Room so cool. Authority is how they resolve conflicts, making sure everyone's actions stay consistent.
So it's like Rec Room has its own referee who decides which action wins, right?
Exactly. The rules are actually pretty straightforward. If you're the one who touches an object, you have authority over it. Until someone else interacts with it, you're in charge. That way, only one player is ever making changes to an object at a time, which is crucial for keeping everything in sync.
Makes sense. But what about objects that nobody's touched yet? Like when you first enter a room, who's calling the shot?
That's a good question. That's room authority, and it acts like a default owner for everything in a given room. Rec Room has these really smart heuristics for deciding who gets room authority, prioritizing things like the type of device you have and how fast your connection is.
So the person with the super fast PC and the high-end headset is more likely to be the one making sure everything runs smoothly for everyone else. That's a cool little detail. But what if that person leaves? Does the whole room just grind to a halt?
Not at all. The system's designed to seamlessly transfer that room authority to someone else. Like a relay race, the baton gets passed, but the race keeps going. It's a clever way to handle players coming and going while making sure that shared experience never breaks down.
Wow. So we've got these magic antennas keeping everything in sync and this invisible referee making sure things don't descend into chaos. And that's just the networking layer, right? Didn't Rec Room take it a step further by letting people build their own games inside this already impressive system?
You're talking about circuits, and yeah, that's where things get really interesting. We're talking about a whole visual scripting language, building game logic with digital Legos instead of code.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued, but we'll save that for next time. If you want to find out how to build your own Rec Room empire, you'll have to join us for part 2 of this deep dive.
Okay, so that was just part 1. I didn't tell it to do multiple parts. It just did that by itself. I'm gonna leave the second part or the rest of it in a separate video. I'll link at the end or put it in the description. It really does do a good job of generating like almost a podcast about this stuff. You can tell the voices are a little bit robotic at points. The inflections that it has on their voices and kind of like these weird humanistic qualities, like AI is getting better, dude. Does it really understand it? No, I'd still think it's just kind of pulling from what it's seeing. I don't think it gives you any real like concrete kind of examples for you to go into Rec Room and try to make the circuits to figure out the concepts, but it does a pretty good job of explaining it from what I already understand and from probably what most people already understand about it. So even if you don't know circuits and networking, go check out the second part. I think it does a pretty good job of trying to explain it to you. So hope you enjoyed it. Short video. RCLman out. I don't have internet. That's why I'm in this form and not my normal form.